was the focus for you, Breece, this offseason?
Just again getting back healthy, and then just working. I think just getting back to the basics after a season, after you don't have as successful as a season as you want and everything. Just going back to the basics, and that's just hard work. So,
what do you think of this offense you're going to be playing this year?
It's looking fun right now. During OTAs, you're not really, running the ball and, ground and pound as much. But so far, it's been cool. It's been good to, get around Tanner and all the new coaches, AG and everybody. I've really enjoyed them. I like the people that we have around here. A lot of new faces in the building, so it's been good.
Among those new faces, just how does it feel playing with Justin Fields?
It's been good. He's real cool, calm, and collected, and brings another sense of calm to the offense. And just seeing how he works and how diligent he is, and how he cares. He's trying to gain relationships with everybody, and how he goes about his business. It's been fun so far. He gets hype like everybody else. He's young like us, so we talk about a lot of the same stuff. We can hang out on the weekends, and it's just been cool to be around. He's a good dude.
Do you watch Detroit stuff?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of how they run their offense. Have a 2-back system, and have always been able to make really explosive plays with all their receivers, tight end. Having all these weapons and everybody be able to eat. So yeah, I've always watched them.
From the moment you got here, or pretty close to it, you've always been the guy in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Now Aaron Glenn is talking about using all 3 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you react to that? It might not mean as many carries this year, or
Mm-hmm.
because other guys are getting chances. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm not obligated to anything. I'm around new GM, new coaches, a lot of new faces. So for me, I got to go prove that I am the guy. That's every day. I feel like my skill set. I'm a 3-down back and second to none to a lot of backs in the league. So we have a great running back room, a lot of healthy competition. But for my mentality is every day I'm going to prove that I am the best back on this roster, one of the best backs in the league. So I have a quote on my phone that says, "If not me, then who?" I look at it every morning, and that's my internal motivation, because I'm very self-motivated. So yeah, that's that.
Where did that come from? Where did the self-motivation come from?
Just myself, just growing up, I was never a person to where my parents had to, so much push me to do stuff and push me to want to be competitive and be great and be the best at stuff. It was always just me, that's just in my makeup, good genetics. So my parents have done really well of, setting a good mentality and good foundation for me and the way I go about stuff and how I think. So I feel like, like I said, every day I just wake up with that motivation to, do you want to just show up, or do you want to get better?
You were in one offensive system with LaFleur, and you were in another one with Nate. Now you're in Tanner's. Mm-hmm. What specifically about this scheme do you believe will get more out of you than anything else?
I feel like to a certain extent, a lot of offenses in the NFL are pretty similar. It just, I know Tanner loves to run the ball. So for me, just getting ready for that. But he also knows how I can be effective in the pass game. And, him and AG always tell me, Breece, you're gonna do everything. So for me, it's getting ready just to do everything. It's like this. It's not such a different approach to being in one offense or the other offense. For me, I have to be ready to, be a 3-down back and be a threat to do everything. So I feel like it's not really a different approach I have to take.
There wasn't one game last year where you had 20 carries, which is kind of hard to believe after what you did the previous couple of years. What was it? Was it frustrating last year? What was it like?
Yeah, it was. It's always frustrating when you're not, as a team, and then individually when you're not, winning games and playing as well as you expect. And then after that, after the season, everybody, there's always somebody to blame or somebody that the blame gets put on, and a lot of it just so happened to kind of be on me. So it was like, okay, just get back to the drawing board. And like I said, I just get back to, working hard. I know what I can do. I know the potential I have, but, potential only goes so far. I want to be a product. I want to be able to say that I've done everything I wanted to do. So, that is what it is.
How did you process that and move past that to get yourself in the mindset you needed to be?
Yeah, when you're not playing good, hurt and everything, it sucks, but it is what it is. Life goes on. This is a job at the end of the day, so if you're not doing your job, then you're going to be replaced. So for me, like I said, it's just get back to the drawing board and get back to, you know, being who I am and being able to come in and do my 111th, to do my job every day and prove that, you know, I belong to be here.
You obviously hear that there are people doubting you or whatever you said about the blame game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that is in your mind as you move toward this season? Or?
Oh, yeah, always in the back of my mind, you know. Like I said, I'm around a lot of new faces, a new coaching staff, a new GM, a lot of new people. So for me, my mentality is to prove to them and prove to myself every day, you know, that I belong to be here. So
There were, as you know, around the draft, there were all those trade rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Like people thought you were gone, Connor. You know, what was it like for you? How did you process at that time?
I mean, I was seeing it just like everybody else was seeing it, you know, but like I said, if you're not, people feel like you aren't doing your job, you're going to be replaced. So, you know, it didn't happen. I'm here. AG called me and told me he wanted me to be here. So, you know, for me, that meant a lot. But like I said, I'm here. I'm here to work. I'm here to do my job. So, and prove to them that I deserve to be here.
Did you talk when you saw those rumors pop up? Did you just see what happens, or did you call Aaron? Did you call Darren just to see what?
Nah, at first I was just kind of like, okay, we'll just see what happens, you know. And then, you know, AG called me and, you know, told me that he's like, Breece, do you think I want to trade you? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, Breece, I don't want to trade you. So I want you to be here. You're gonna be here. You're our running back, and so that felt really good. And then just to sit down with him and have a lot of long conversations, and for him to fill me out, for me to, you know, get to know him and everything, it's been cool. And to see how our practices have gone and how competitive he likes it to be, and, you know, how he likes to put the ball down and just let us play, it's been fun.
Breece, this is a little off topic, but they just installed real grass at MetLife Stadium ahead of some World Cup club matches that are coming up for FIFA. Would you like to play on real grass every week? Just kind of wondering what your thoughts on that. A couple NFL players have already weighed in and said,
yeah,
man, I wish I could have that.
For me, like, I feel like younger people, like, when you're younger, you're not really feeling the difference of the grass and the turf. It's kind of just like, okay, whatever. But for older guys, I know they like to play on grass more so than turf. But for me, I don't really feel too much of a difference. So, I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't matter to me, but, like, wherever you put the ball down, that's where I'm playing at. So it could be on cement, it could be wherever you want to put it down, and that's where I'm going to be. So.
Breece, how serious was your knee injury that you were dealing with toward the end of last year?
Yeah, it was pretty serious. If I could have gone back, I probably would have taken a little more time off. But, you know, I feel like the team needed me out there. I wanted to be out there, but I feel fine now. So, God willing, you know, I was able to heal up and be healthy and everything. But I feel great now, so that's in the past. That was that. And now I'm just ready to keep moving forward.
You didn't get any procedures or anything?
Nah, no procedure, nothing, nah.
This is a big year for you, you know, contractually. How big of a motivator is that going into your last year?
That's always a motivator, but regardless of it being my contract year or not, I didn't have a good season last year. So, you know, me not trending up, that's all the motivation I need for me to want to be better. You know, so, you know, we're going to keep getting ready and keep preparing, and, you know, whatever happens this season, God willing, I'll stay healthy and able to do everything I want to do. But if that's not in God's plans for me, then it is what it is, you know.
Saquon just got a pretty lucrative extension from Billy. I mean, there's been so much talk about 5-6 years about running backs getting paid, running backs getting paid. I mean, do you now see an opportunity to go out there and continue to move that forward, the ball forward with that?
Yeah, the opportunity is there, but at the end of the day, I have to be the one to prove that I deserve the opportunity and deserve to be on the field.